In a couple weeks, I'm about to go to a conference in Tennessee where there's going to be lots of preachers gathered together and elders there from across the country in Sevierville, Tennessee. And it's going to be a lectureship where we're going to hear great lessons, edifying stories, and there's going to be other singing and many other great things going on to help build up preachers. And I've been to conferences like this before in my life, and they've have lots of benefit to offer to them. But one of the things that is the worst about these things is some of the drama surrounding it and the posturing by many preachers at these conferences. Some people like to compete with each other to make sure that kind of grow in the system, make connections so that they can, get more well established in brotherhoods. Maybe they can preach at some lectureships and get their name well known out there. And then, they really try to grow their own name, their own brand of preaching in a certain way. And sometimes it's even debated, how can I be the greatest preacher of this age, the greatest preacher in the brotherhood or in America, and become well known? And that's a thing that many young preachers especially get caught up in and thinking about. And one of the things that, though, is that it's pretty ridiculous when you think about it, right? Jesus said, when his disciples came to him, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" Jesus told them, he brought a child up next to him, and he said, "Unless you become like this child, you will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven," as he says at the beginning of Matthew chapter 18. And so if we were to ask God, who is the greatest minister, preacher in the kingdom of God, in your kingdom, even in America today, I'd be willing to bet it isn't one of these great preachers. It isn't going to be probably not going to be Francis Chan or John Piper or Vodi Bauckham or, all these other preachers that are super well known. And while they may be good ministers, I guarantee you, I bet it's going to be a person who is known hardly at all by anybody. Someone who just is at their little church in the middle of nowhere, and this minister is willing to sacrifice everything of himself in order to love and minister to those at his congregation. And I bet we need to become more like that minister, become more like children where we don't care about status. We don't care about moving up in the world in that same way that others do. We don't care about how well recognized we are by others. The children in the ancient world didn't have any hope of that at all. They had no upward mobility. All their honor and all their status really depended on their father at that point. And so also today, we need to have our status and our honor depend more upon our Father in heaven, and care about what he does for us and provides for us than whenever we could provide for ourselves. So I hope that you won't get caught up in pride and arrogance and trying to climb up some ladder, and so that you can have other people think all these better things about you and feel better about yourself from a worldly status standpoint. Because that's not the way of the kingdom. What really matters is what God thinks of you. And I hope that's what you will choose to hold on to today.